Broly has always been that character who simply breaks the rules of power in Dragon Ball. Every time he shows up, the power scale seems to stop making sense. He treats Goku and Vegeta as if they were toys, tanks hits that should vaporize entire planets, and the most terrifying part, he gets stronger during the fight, as if his power had no ceiling. But how far does that really go? What if we take the classic Broly from the Z movies and throw him into the main timeline? From the Saiyan Saga, Frieza, Cell, Majin Buu, Dragon Ball Super, would he be able to get through everything? Or would someone at some point actually be able to stop him? Since he is a movie character, a timeline that is practically separate from the anime, I notice there is a huge divergence between opinions regarding the power scale of classic Broly. So today we are going to find out if Broly's legendary power would be capable of breaking the Dragon Ball Z anime itself. Before putting Broly against each phase of Dragon Ball Z, we need to understand a benchmark, and the best benchmark that exists is Perfect Cell. Cell is frequently considered the most complete villain of Z. He was genetically created with the DNA of the most powerful warriors in the universe. He is not just strong, he is strategic, adaptable, and was literally built to evolve. When Cell appears in his perfect form, he humiliates the warriors in an almost embarrassing way. Krillin tries a Kinzan on his neck, a move that had already worked even against superior opponents like Frieza, and it does absolutely nothing. Cell counterattacks so fast that Krillin cannot even react. Vegeta shows up with that same old confidence, delivers a blow that should have been critical, and Cell simply ignores it. He knocks Vegeta out with a single counterattack, and even when Vegeta fires the final flash, that massive attack that crosses through space, Cell still manages to partially dodge it. According to the anime's power scale, the final flash travels millions of times faster than light. The fact that Cell managed to move in time shows the absurd level at which he operates. Then Cell faces Trunks in Super Saiyan 1, Grade 3, and Cell even admits that Trunks has quite a lot of brute force, but his performance says something else. He tanks punches from Trunks without showing any effort at all, even without using his full power, and the official guides from that era confirm Cell was the strongest being in the universe at that moment. And why is it important to understand Cell's power to understand Broly's power? Because the Broly movie takes place chronologically near those events, and the next one a little after. There are those who believe that Broly's level is lower than a Super Saiyan 2, and there are those who believe it is higher than a Super Saiyan 3, and by a lot. But is that really true? And how does his power position itself within those sagas? For that, it is important to analyze a fight that gives us many clues about this. Goku comes out of the hyperbolic time chamber absurdly stronger. He rivals Vegeta and Trunks using half his power, but even so, Goku openly admits that he cannot beat Cell. He calls Cell the strongest being he has ever faced, including Gohan from that era, who had not yet unlocked Super Saiyan 2. During the fight at the Cell games, Goku quickly realizes the gravity of the situation. One mistake and it is over. In the anime, it is repeatedly suggested that Cell is using full power, which is backed up by the guides. But in the manga and other sources, like the legendary manga, it is clear that Cell was still holding back, only revealing his maximum against Gohan later. The truth is that even though it seemed balanced, the fight was always under Cell's control. Cell demonstrates mastery in multiple techniques, including a perfected version of the clones that does not split power, impressing even Tien Shin Han, who created the technique. When Cell decides to raise the stakes, he simply destroys the entire arena, turning planet Earth into a battlefield. Goku manages to land a serious hit using instant transmission combined with the Kamehameha, vaporizing half of Cell's body, but Cell regenerates. And here comes a crucial detail. Multiple sources confirm that Cell has unlimited energy because of the android components in his body. He may seem tired at times, but that is temporary. The infinite supply of energy allows him to recover stamina quickly, making him practically tireless in prolonged combat. Even after the devastating Kamehameha, Cell insists that Goku eat a Senzu-bean. He is so confident that he says a full recovery would change nothing. Goku, recognizing the truth, voluntarily gives up the fight and points to Gohan as the next challenger. Gohan enters the fight, and Cell recognizes the boy's potential, but dismisses Goku's claim that Gohan had already surpassed him, and initially Cell dominates completely. Gohan can only dodge without counterattacking during the start of the fight. Many people point to Gohan's pacifism as a reason, but the reality is that Cell was dominant regardless of Gohan's mindset. To force the awakening, Cell creates the Cell Juniors, and each one had enough power to beat up every Z warrior. It is only when Gohan finally explodes with rage that things change. Even in the enraged Super Saiyan form, Gohan still did not have enough. Cell mocks him, saying that the form is disappointing, and it is only with the Super Saiyan 2 transformation that Gohan becomes untouchable. But Cell does not die for good. His core survives the self-destruction, allowing regeneration into an even more powerful form, Super Perfect Cell. This transformation is described by Cell and by the Daisenshu as a dramatic power increase comparable to the jump Gohan made from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 2. Based on how the Daisenshu define galactic structures, Cell's power at this point can logically be extended elevated to a multi-solar system level, potentially even higher. So here we have our benchmark. Cell at his peak operates on a multi-solar system scale. Super Perfect Cell is probably one step above that, and Enraged Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is above Cell. That is the ceiling of the Cell Saga. Now, where does Broly fit into this? The destruction of the South Galaxy. Now let us talk about Broly, and here the power scale gets absurd. Even chained up, controlled by Paragus, and in a suppressed Super Saiyan form, Broly destroys substantial portions of the South Galaxy, and here is a common mistake. The South Galaxy in Dragon Ball is not a single galaxy, it is an entire quadrant of the universe composed of countless galaxies. Sources like Daisenshu 4 confirm that the Dragon Ball universe contains infinite galaxies and solar systems. When Broly destroys about 1/4 of that quadrant while he was restrained and unstable, we are talking about destruction far beyond multi-solar system. At a minimum, this places Broly in the multi-galactic category, and that is him held back, chained, and without the legendary form. The universal threat now gets even more intense. Across multiple media, there is a recurring message. If Broly is left on his own, the result will be total cosmic devastation. And what makes this more significant is the expected speed. Unlike Majin Buu or Cell, who have infinite time to gradually destroy the universe, Broly is mortal. He is a Saiyan. He has a peak of power, and he eventually ages, being generous, about 80 years of fighting at his peak. When characters say the universe is in danger, we are talking about a speed-based threat. Broly causes more destruction in less time, with a biological limit, and still justifies universal alarm. The timeline makes him terrifying. To understand all of this, we need to look at the context of the movies, because the movies, despite fitting in between one saga and another, end up becoming their own timeline, because they are not canonical, and the power levels, and even the things that happen, tend to not have total consistency with what happens in the anime. And here comes a crucial point when the first movie takes place. In the first Broly movie, Goku is alive, the characters live in peace, the conflict with Cell has not happened yet. In the second movie, Goku is already dead. Since Cell's self-destruction sends Goku to the other world, the second movie takes place after Cell and the first takes place before. And why does this matter? Because it perfectly contextualizes Broly versus Gohan. So we go back to Goku's logic at the Cell games. Before the Cell games, Goku was convinced that Gohan was the only one capable of defeating Cell because of his hidden power. The reason Goku fought first was to give Gohan time to observe and gain confidence. But if Goku believed that Gohan's rage would surpass Cell, why did he not consider that against Broly? That silence speaks volumes. Goku clearly did not think Gohan had a chance against Broly. He takes the fight into his own hands, seeing Broly as a threat so colossal that he himself needed to step in. This shows how Goku ranks Broly above Cell and above Gohan's potential. There is also a difference between the anime Gohan and the movie Gohan. In the second movie, Goku is described as having the greatest power in the universe, and the version of Gohan in that movie is stronger than the canonical one. In the main timeline, Gohan relaxes for 7 years and enters the Majin Buu saga weaker, but this alternate Gohan kept training. In the movie, Gohan states that he became much stronger since the first Broly. Even so, Goku is considered superior. This has enormous implications. Broly not only surpasses Cell, but exceeds the threat that Gohan represented at the Cell games. His strength is overwhelming enough that even the fully trained Gohan is considered inferior to Goku, who still needs help to defeat Broly. One of the most common counter-arguments is that Broly cannot be that strong because he loses to a regular Super Saiyan at the end of movie 8. The reasoning is, if Broly lost to a base Goku with a friendship boost, he must be below Super Saiyan 2, since neither Goku nor Gohan needed that transformation to defeat him. But that interpretation completely underestimates the boost that Goku received. According to the official pamphlet of movie 8, the energy gathered by the warriors for Goku was a 1,000 times increase in power, and this is not my exaggeration. It is an official statement from Toei responsible for the movie. The pamphlet also says that no matter how powerful the opponent is, victory becomes certain once that boost is applied. This is not a minor power-up, it is a colossal amplification, strong enough to allow Goku to defeat a being operating at a multi-galactic level, or even given a large enough time limit, a threat to universal quadrants. 1,000 times is far superior, for example, to the Super Saiyan 3 multiplier, on top of the fact that Broly collapsed under his own power, which led to his defeat. So no, that was not Goku getting a lucky win using regular Super Saiyan and teamwork. It was a unique and unprecedented spike that placed Goku on a completely different level, and even then, perhaps not enough to overcome Broly's overwhelming power. The idea that Goku beat Broly as a Cell Saga level Super Saiyan is a completely wrong reading of the context. The fact that Goku needed that much energy just to deliver a decisive punch shows that Broly was operating above standard Super Saiyan 2 levels, possibly rivaling or exceeding Super Saiyan 3 fighters from the canon. Broly's defeat at the end of the movie does not weaken his positioning in the power hierarchy. It only emphasizes the scale of power needed to stop him. When we weigh everything, the verdict is clear. Broly is in a completely different tier from Cell. Even at his peak, without stretching the scale too much, Cell's multi-solar system capabilities are eclipsed by Broly's multi-galactic and universal quadrant threat. This difference is not marginal, it is massive. Some manage to scale Cell to universal level, which requires a certain generosity in interpretation. However, if that same generosity is given to Broly, he would easily reach that level. Regardless of the method, this fight would not be contested. By the logic of Broly's power, the legendary Super Saiyan, who could only be defeated through the script's context, it is still possible to categorize Broly as above Cell. And what about Majin Vegeta? This is one of the most requested comparisons. Majin Vegeta receives a massive magic boost from Babidi, which extracts all of his latent potential. During the clash with Goku, the two are portrayed as equals in Super Saiyan 2. Some argue that Goku's immortal body gave him a stamina advantage, but the Majin modifications blur that argument. Spopovich had his neck twisted and kept fighting as if nothing had happened. In terms of scale, Majin Vegeta falls between multi-solar system and low galactic. He manages to trade blows with Fat Buu for a while, but is eventually overpowered. The regeneration and bizarre physiology of Majin Buu are too much. Compared to Broly, who was annihilating galaxies while asleep and was seen as an imminent cosmic threat, it is a good matchup. Some argue that Majin Vegeta is more powerful, but in terms of destruction level, based on the movie's dialogue, effects, and the character's logic, let us move past Broly, because we want to see a really interesting fight. Broly versus Goku's Super Saiyan 3. So, what about Super Saiyan 3? This form is the peak of unfused Goku in Z. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is absurdly powerful. The transformation shakes the entire planet and sends detectable waves all the way to the realm of the Supreme Kais, a separate dimension outside the known universe. Goku admits he could have defeated Fat Majin Buu directly with Super Saiyan 3. The supplementary material describes Super Saiyan 3 as the form that extracts the absolute peak of Saiyan potential. Unlike Super Saiyan 1 and 2, which have clear multipliers, Super Saiyan 3 is framed as raw and unquantifiable maximum power, even though sources say 400 times. Even so, Broly from the second movie humiliates a Gohan who trained for 7 years and uses Super Saiyan 2. If we consider how strong Vegeta became as Super Saiyan 2 when he fought against Beerus, for example, there are those who argue that this Super Saiyan 2 Gohan would be much stronger than his Cell Saga peak, but there is no way to know if he has the level of a Super Saiyan 3, probably not, and Broly crushes him casually. The conclusion would truly be a good battle between Super Saiyan 3 and Broly, but for now, it is difficult to categorize Broly's feats as sufficient to beat Super Saiyan 3. But yes, as incredible as it seems, there is a debate. But what about Kid Buu? Kid Buu is the final antagonist of Dragon Ball Z. Pure destruction, no reason, no strategy, just absolute chaos. The question is, could Broly get past him? In the manga, Kid Buu's most notable feat is annihilating hundreds of worlds over the course of several years. Destructive, yes, but it is still a feat inferior to Broly's destruction, which happened in a much shorter time while he was suppressed. In pure destruction, Broly's feat ends up drawing more attention, but there are statements scattered throughout the franchise suggesting that Kid Buu could destroy the universe. However, most of them seem to refer to a long-term threat. Majin Buu gradually erasing existence rather than an instant universal explosion. When we examine the anime, things change. Kid Buu attacks the planet of the Supreme Kais, a gigantic landmass. If Kid Buu has the capacity to destroy it in a single blow, since it is a location with a comparatively small scale in relation to the living universe, but still immense, it would place him at galactic or multi-galactic power level. The anime also shows the clashes between Super Saiyan 3 and Kid Buu causing waves across the realm of the Supreme Kais, a realm the size of the entire macrocosm. Shockwaves reaching a domain of that magnitude implies that both Goku and Kid Buu possess at minimum galactic destruction potential, but the peak of power belongs to Buhan, the version that absorbed Gohan. When enraged, he fires an energy blast so powerful that it threatens to undo the very structure of the universe through a chain reaction. Material from the anime and Kai point to a universal scale for that attack, even reaching other dimensions. But of course, not everything is about power. Speed is frequently ignored in these comparisons, but it could be Broly's secret weapon. If we use the movies as reference, Broly can scale above characters like Metal Cooler, who could track and react to Goku's instant transmission. The fight between Goku and Metal Cooler happened in a timeless space described in the guides as a realm without time, implying a measurable speed that transcends time-based physics. And the Broly movies are part of a connected continuity. Movies 8 and 10 share narrative ties. If Broly's strength and speed should scale beyond Cooler, as Koyama suggested, then it makes sense that he would match and surpass those speed feats as well. Koyama stated that Broly was the strongest character in the Z movie and anime canon, only being surpassed by Beerus afterwards. The consistency of this position adds weight to the idea that Broly surpasses all forms of Buu in raw power, although the safest claim would be that Broly could fight evenly with Majin Vegeta, and perhaps not scale to Super Saiyan 3 or to Majin Buu. There are interpretations that place him even surpassing all of Dragon Dragon Ball Z, with his potential being even greater. But what do you think? Do you believe Broly would stop at Majin Vegeta, or that he would defeat Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Kid Buu?